Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. EQA Nostalgia here, and today I want to talk to you guys about No Man's Sky, a game that came out of nowhere for me. I had not heard about it until E3, and when the video started to roll during E3 Live, I didn't quite know what I was looking at. At first, I thought it was Blood Dragon 2, Far Cry Blood Dragon 2, and then I saw stuff flying around and a bunch of different animals. So I'm just going to convey to you the way I first perceived this when I saw it. The colors right away just blew my mind how colorful it was, and it just looks amazing. And I noticed the animals running around. They had like this digital look to them, like they were like part of a matrix or something. Like they weren't real, like they were programmed in or something. So I didn't quite know what to make of that. And you can see that happening with some of the creatures right here. You can see with this brontosaurus-looking creature. And then I noticed that it was popping up that it was a new species that was recently discovered. So that gave me a hint that this is something that might be online. Then I saw the ships flying around and all these different creatures. Of course, I noticed the ship over on the side there, and this big, huge rhinoceros-looking thing comes rampaging through the forest, and everything reacts to it and runs away. And this is where shit just got crazy because he hops into his spaceship and starts flying away, and almost immediately is now out of the planet's surface in space. I just I didn't know what to make of it. I mean, I never really seen anything like this. And then I noticed when he was shooting at the asteroids, it kind of had that Minecraft look with the voxels coming apart. All this stuff going on at once. I mean, I just wanted to know what it was. I was basically on the edge of my seat, with my jaw on the ground as all this was rolling. But every now and then a game comes along and it just shakes your very foundation, and that's what this trailer did for me. I mean, the re-entry here coming into another planet. And all I could think of was, did this guy just leave a planet, go into space, and then go to another one? And now it looks like he's flying in formation with AI, flying around. He's shooting at enemies. It looks like there's combat in the game. You can see up in the right hand corner of the screen, it looks like he's got ammo for when he's on the ground to shoot at stuff on the ground. I don't. What do you say about this? I mean, the first time I seen it, I don't even really know how to put my thoughts into a coherent, rather a coherent manner. So immediately I went and I looked at other trailers for the game, and I noticed that this one came out months ago, 6 or 7 months ago. They showed the ocean, a little bit more stuff going on in space, and all these things coming in. Looks like they're using like hyperdrive to get in there, and then you notice that there's weather effects going on. This game looks highly ambitious. And right here, I replayed the trailer probably like 10 times. Both of these trailers. Probably more by now. And I noticed that there are resources that you can gather. Uh, just all sorts of stuff going on with the combat. And there's stations, space stations, and it looks like there's patterns where animals migrate. I mean, this is an incredibly ambitious title, and I found out it was only being done by an indie studio with like 4 people. So, I mean, if this isn't next gen, I don't know what the hell is. I've wanted something like this for so long. I can't even begin to explain just how long I want. I guess probably since I was a child. I wanted a game that was like this, where you could just go from planet to planet, and there's all this ecology, all this stuff going on. But yeah, enough about my impressions. Let's get down to some of the facts. This game is a multiplayer game, but it's not like an MMORPG. There's going to be a lot of people, but from my understanding, the universe that it takes place in, the galaxy it takes place in, rather, is so massive that it's going to be rare to even run across another person. They want you to be able to feel the effects of other people, like if someone has been around, maybe they can leave their mark. If somebody discovers something, it'll show you that this person discovered it. Like when he looks up at the dinosaur here and it tells you, It was discovered by him, new species uploading, so that everybody can see that. That's really awesome. And I know there's a lot of people who are like, I don't get it. I've been reading the comment section. There's people who are saying, I don't understand what's the point of this game. It's not your traditional carrot on a stick game, is it? You know, where they tell you what to do and where to go. It's one of those games where they just dump you off and you have at it. And in a way, that kind of reminds me of EQOA. Now, I know that they said this is not an MMO, but it does have some of those qualities where it's all about exploration. They just dump you into the world and you have at it. And the developers said that everybody's going to start kind of like on the edge of the galaxy, and they want to see people making their way in. There's going to be a map that you can pull up where it shows things that people have discovered, so that things will start to be charted, and it'll actually show you things that people have discovered, and you can try to make your way there. He said something to the effect that you could fly in a straight line for like 5 years and never find the end of it. It just goes on like endlessly, kind of like Minecraft does on PC, not on consoles, but on PC, where the world just continues to generate and generate and generate, and you never run out of space. And the ecology, all of the different makeups for the planet, it's randomly generated. So you'll have all this stuff that it might look similar to other things, but there's different sliders for it. So it can be, you know, like maybe the vegetation will have different colors than other planets. It'll be thicker. Composition will change with it. And the same with the animals. The animals can range from anywhere, he said, from like a cat to like a huge tiger, and anything that looks like that, that's just kind of like morphed and really distorted looking. So we're talking about pretty much endless stuff to discover, and it's very exciting. And there's a lot of people saying this is too ambitious. There's no way they can do this, but I have faith that they can do it. I really do think that, you know, maybe last gen it wasn't possible, but with the way technology has moved along, it doesn't seem impossible to me. Because if you look at Minecraft, like I said, you can just run in one direction, and the map will continue to generate. And I remember when Minecraft first came out, that blew my mind that you could do that. You could just keep walking, and it just generates and generates and generates, and continues to take up hard drive space. That's kind of like what we're looking at here, just on a grander scale, you know. I'm extremely excited for this title. Now, it is a timed exclusive for PlayStation 4, I believe, and then they plan on bringing it out for PC, and I would not be surprised if it made its way to Xbox One eventually. Now, that's not confirmed. Obviously, it's not confirmed, but you know, something like this, I can't see it being contained on just, you know, PS4 and PC. It's gonna have to be on, you know, the major consoles and PC. The demand for this game, if they're able to do everything that they say that they're going to do, it's going to be a very, very popular game. And the multiplayer is kind of difficult to describe. The developer had talked about Journey, and for some of you who might have played Journey on PlayStation 3, it was a really great game. If you came across someone, you wouldn't know who they are. They wouldn't have like a name over their head to disconnect you from the experience. It was just another person standing there, and you'd interact with each other. You know what I mean? You do little moves, and you'd know that that's another person. And all of a sudden, you would take a journey together, and you would both work on puzzles and stuff. And if you departed, then you would never see that person again, and you wouldn't know if you've seen them again, because they wouldn't have a name over their head. Now I don't know if they're going to have names where, you know, it tells you who you're looking at. But if you do come across someone and you separate from them, even on the same planet, you're probably never going to see them again. Now, they did mention that they're going to have a way for people to chat. I'm not certain if there's going to be texting or voice chat. I don't know how that's going to work out. But if you're one of those people who is expecting to get into this game and find your buddy and pair up and go exploring together, that's never going to happen. It's just not. I mean, it might be possible. I can't say it's impossible, but it's highly improbable that you're going to find each other. Maybe once it's all mapped out, and if you happen to be close to each other, but if he starts on one end of the galaxy and you're on the other, You're talking like light years apart, like years. They said like years to get to each other at that point would be so far away. And this isn't the kind of game where it's going to be a multiplayer thing. It's just going to be a massive experience where everybody writes their own story. You go out and you fly, and they said that you could actually attack these aircraft carriers, or you can choose to defend them, and you could get a reward for doing either of those things. You could wipe out an entire species on a planet if you so choose to do it. Another thing worth mentioning is that they said it's going to be a very dangerous world where things are going to try to kill you. Like you might have noticed that rhinoceros charging through the forest, and he hopped into his ship and got the hell out of there. I'm not certain how death is going to work in the game if you die, if you just like respawn with everything on another planet, or if you have to start all over. I don't even know if you have to build your ship from scratch. Maybe you just start on the planet with nothing. I know he said that you can upgrade your suit for certain things, and you can upgrade your ship maybe to make it go faster, and that you could jump from solar systems with like hyperdrive and light speed and stuff like that. So it's something that they're still building. They don't know when it's going to be out, but yeah, it's incredibly ambitious, and I really hope they can pull it off because there's a lot of ambitious things going on right now. EverQuest Next being one of them, with the whole AI thing, the emergent AI. So yeah, I've got my eye on this one, and I'm extremely excited for it. You should be excited for it as well. I'm almost certain everybody that's subscribed to me has already heard of this game by now. I'm just trying to think of things that I might have forgotten. There's so much stuff that I've learned about the game over the past few days. I don't believe there's a leveling system. Like this isn't the kind of game where you're going to level up and all of that. You're not going to have like skills. I don't know how you're going to get your ammo if you have to like craft things. I know he said he doesn't want people hanging out on a planet and like creating bases, so I don't know if they're going to even have crafting where you can maybe create your own house and all that stuff. I don't know if they're going to have that at all, but it looks like they're trying to lean away from that because they don't want people to settle down. They're going to try to encourage people to go out and explore. But there are resources that we saw in the beginning of the trailer where it showed you could harvest resources. So I don't know. There's a lot of questions out there. Everybody's wondering, can you do this? Can you do that? Hopefully we'll be getting some more information soon. But needless to say, I'm going to be keeping my eye on this one, and I plan on keeping you guys informed. So I thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.